Welcome to another episode of the Global Game Pod, where we focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's football.
What a goal from Ronaldo! It is absolutely magnificent! It is David Beckham!
With Coach Rudy and friends, this is Global Game Pod.
Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of the Global Game Pod, brought to you by CKB Interiors. You know the drill. If you want a kitchen or a bedroom, go visit their website. Right, today's guest, the big man, Mr. Joel Nouble. What is happening, my bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Global Game Pod. You know, finally good to have you here.
I'm buzzing to be here, man.
Just to chat to you and get to know you a little bit. But first and foremost, how you getting on in these times?
Yeah, no, I'm all right, man. You get used to it. First couple of days, you're just like, well, what? Like, is this really life? Like, it's so different. No more match day, no more simple training. So it is different. But now it's been a couple of weeks now. You do get used to it. But I do miss football and everything. But
you training alone? Training alone?
Yeah. So at the start, I was just doing more just legs, core. I wasn't really doing any sort of running because I was still injured at the time. So this little lockdown has helped me recover from the injury, and I just started running a couple of days ago. So, but no, I'm feeling good, to be fair. I have to do something. I can't stay still.
Nah, that's right. If
I stay still, my head will go crazy. I have to do something.
That's good. It's good that you're keeping yourself busy. It's good that you're working, and you know you probably come back next season bigger, stronger, and you know that's a scary prospect. That is.
Hey, if I come up big and strong, I'm buzzing. That's long.
That's a scary prospect. But what I like to do on this is I always like to start right at the beginning. So right at the beginning of your football career. So from where you can remember, basically, like when did you start playing football? How old were you, and why really?
I'll say probably around 4 or 5. And where we used to live in a flat, and right in front of our flat there was a massive park. So I can literally remember my dad used to take me and my older brother there every single day, just little passes, just pass here, pass there. And back then, like now when I'm older, you don't realize how that was quality from him. He's spending quality time with his kids. It's simple football because I was buzzing every time we got back from school. I just wanted to go to the park. Straight park. I'm like, Dad, can we go? And it got to a point where he never really forced it on me in terms of you have to like love football, but he did drop a ball every now here and there and see how we reacted to it. So probably say around 4 and 5, and I just played football with my dad and older brother all the time. So probably around then.
Right. So that's when Jay starts. That's obviously for people who know, but people will catch on because they'll see the surname and whatnot. Your older brother's Frank.
Yep.
The professional footballer, Frank. So
the professional, yeah.
So at 4 or 5 years old, that makes him about what, 8, 9 years old, yeah?
Yeah, 9, 10, because it's 5 years between us.
All right, so 5 years between. So 9, 10 years old. At this time, has Frank excelled? Is he in academies, or is he still?
No, he's not. He's not, to be fair. So he went. The first academy he went to was Charlton, but he didn't get in at Charlton. Maybe around 10, he was at Millwall. I think this is literally just before he went Millwall, so he wasn't signed anywhere or anything like that. He was just playing Sunday League. So, but because he was already at Charlton, he had a little trial there, didn't get in, and this is probably like 2-3 weeks before he ended up going Millwall for a little bit. So
okay, so in terms of yourself,
I didn't really know anything like that.
Yeah, obviously that's it. But in terms of yourself, obviously, like being a 4 or 5-year-old, seeing your older brother, obviously you see he's knocking the ball about and that. Was that kind of like your inspiration? Because I'm sure you used to go to on a Sunday to watch him play, correct?
Yeah. No, well, anyone who does have an older brother, then he was like my idol. So anything that he's doing, I want to do the same thing. Like if he was to jump off a cliff, I might even think about it. So So when he used to go to some trials, my dad used to take me with him. So to train him, so I would just be there. My dad watching him train. So. And I think just seeing that just got in my head thinking, whatever he's doing, I just want to do the same thing. And so, definitely seeing him, definitely probably pushed it for myself at such a young age.
Yeah, and so does the journey start at 5 years old? Like, do you go in and play grassroots football? Like, how does it work?
So there was a local team called Red Lions. And then, like I said, Frank wasn't at the academy yet, so we both went to Red Lions. I went there when I was 6 years old. And then I was only there literally for maybe even 2 months. I don't know if it was 2 months. Funny enough, first one I went there when I was 6. I started playing with the under-9s. Because I was quite a big 6-year-old. So I'm playing with the under-9s. And then they asked me, like, how old are you? So I'm 6 years old. I'm like, no, you're the wrong age. And the funny thing is, so the clubhouse is over here, but the pitch is like one massive park, literally across the road. When to get to the pitch, there was like a fence, then like a hole. Yeah, every kid had to like squeeze through. So we used to make jokes like, if you couldn't squeeze through because like you're too big, like you can't play for the team. So we used to do that every time for training. You squeeze through, go to the pitch, train, squeeze back, go. And so I'm playing a couple games at 6 years old. And obviously when you're 6, I don't know anything. So with the slapping teams, I'm scoring 5, 6 goals a game, but I'm just like running around, kicking the ball, scoring. Then after a game, I think I scored like 5 goals in that game. A scout went to my dad and he said, "Yeah, I'm a Chelsea scout. Here's my number. Call me, and I'll call you." Because I think it sounds really good. That I'm gonna get him like go to a trial to join the academy. So when he told me, at this time Chelsea, or if I go years back, this is probably when like Zola. So they were a good team, but they weren't as fake as they were.
It's before the money. Before the money.
This is before the money. So when he told me, Chelsea scout came and you're gonna go to a trial game. Like I said, I'm 6 years old at the time, so I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm just like, oh, Chelsea, okay. But because my brother, he'd been in the academy, and at this time he's at Millwall. So because he's at Millwall, and then he knows like teams and leagues and everything, he was like, bro, like that's good. Like Chelsea want you. Like he started telling all these friends, my little brother got a trial for Chelsea, and everything. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a big thing. End up going to a trial, and not for a top player, I think he's a top player right now. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he was at the trial as well.
Wow.
So I've known him since 6 years old. So we're both at the trial, and only 3 of us get picked. It was me, him, and I can't remember the last player's name, but we're the only 3 that gets picked. And we end up getting signed for Chelsea. But they never really had a academy base. So where we used to train at Battersea Park. So you would think they'll have like an academy place for all the players. We used to share like bits on the pitch, like 3 age groups all at the same time. We all have like an hour and a half slot. Train at Battersea Park, and then signed when I was 7. And the funny thing is the way Frank, people don't even know this. So he's at Millwall. The way he got signed for Chelsea is when I was signing my papers. Obviously, the whole family comes. Yeah. So they asked my brother, "Oh, like, do you play football?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm at Nouble." They're like, "Okay, come down for a 6-week trial." So I always tell him, I basically started your career at Chelsea. without me getting signed, I don't know if you would have ended up going there. So I always tell him, I got you into Chelsea. So if you never came, you never know, it would have been a different story. So that's how I got to Chelsea, man.
That's actually mad. Like, so you're the reason for Frank's success, basically.
Basically, so him being a pro now, I started it without even trying.
This is at 7 years old, yeah?
7 years old, 7 years old. And the funny thing is, we got pictures in the house downstairs from when I'm signing at 7. And me and him are wearing like these old baggy tracksuits. And when I look back at it, I'm like, wow, like that's years ago. And this
now you got to post that picture on the gram. You have to put that.
Yeah, I will. It's literally, it's downstairs, hanging on the wall. Literally hanging on the wall. So
and just a little quick reminder to Frank, like Frank, remember where it started? This is the day. Now that's actually.
I was your agent before you knew it about agents. I started his career, so
that's actually epic. But I guess that is one of the benefits of being an older brother or younger brother, being having a sibling in the academy system, you know.
No, 100%. You can always get a quicker chance, a quicker step into the door. So
especially when they wanted you so badly.
Yeah, no, for sure. So
So then you start your career at 6 years old. Now this is mad because you've only had 2 years at grassroots football.
I wouldn't even say 2 years.
I mean 2 months, sorry, 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months, I wasn't even there for long, So
you've had 2 months at grassroots football. So you've not really learnt the game yet. You're just like you're learning the game.
Yeah, just playing. And at that stage I've always been like one of the tallest kids, so that probably helped me. I was quite funny enough, back then I had a bit of pace. I wouldn't say I've still got pace now, but back then I was fast, big. So if you're fast and big at 6 years old, you're more likely going to score a lot of goals.
Yeah.
I think that having them attributes definitely helped out a lot.
And then you stay at Chelsea for how long?
8 years. So I went when I was 6, went until 14. So yeah, I was there for a number of years. Unbelievable times, man.
So that's 8 years at Chelsea. So like we have these conversations all the time. Is it too soon? How soon is it to be? What is the correct age to go into academy football?
Yeah.
Basically, how soon is too soon? Basically, and like in your sense, you've gone in at 6. You've gone in all the way up to the age of 14. So you started as a fresh young kid, and you've kind of grown into this role as a 14-year-old. Would you change that? Would you, looking back at it now, would you have done it another way? Would you have stayed at grassroots football and then gone into academy system later on, or did you prefer being at the academy system from that young age?
I'll probably say I don't have any regrets. I do understand, because even though I was at Chelsea, and you could probably say grassroots football is just about learning the game and enjoying it at the same time. But when you're 6, 7, 8 at Chelsea, that's still the same thing. We do, obviously, you are in a different environment, but you're not taking it in, because I've not been used to grassroots football. I'm only used to academy. So what I was taught, I just think that's the norm. So if I was at grassroots for maybe a year or two, then I probably would have a different opinion. But because I was only there for 2 months, and I go to Chelsea, and then we end up getting better facilities, I'm still learning the game, and I'm learning with top coaches. So things that I learned at 9, 10, 11, I still used to till today. And looking back at it, when I think that's what I was doing at 10, 11, is actually crazy. Where that's why Chelsea got all the best youngsters in the world now, because they're teaching them young, and some of their technical ability is unbelievable. So I wouldn't have any regrets. But if people do have the opinion of they don't want to rush their kids going in too early, rather them enjoy it, learn it, play with their friends, and then go into a more structured, organized place, I wouldn't argue. But personally, for me, that's what I'm used to. So for me, my mindset is that that's the norm. I do understand other people's perspective, but for me, no regrets at all, man. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, like you said, it was the norm for you. That was the norm for you. What you were taught is what you saw is what you got. So it was no different for you. But did you ever feel any pressure being in the academy, or did it not faze you whatsoever, because it was, like you said, it was just your norm?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I felt any pressure, especially at such a young age, because players do come in and go. So there was a number of players that came on trial, and they'll always tell you there's always someone trying to take your spot. But because I always felt like I was a good player, so I never really felt pressure in terms of someone coming in and going to take my position. Because at that young age, I was a forward, so I was just scoring loads of goals every game. So I'm thinking, if I'm scoring goals every game, enjoying it, nothing's really going to change. So I probably didn't feel any pressure. I probably did end up getting complacent sometimes, because I've been there for so many years. Like I said, it becomes the norm. That was basically like my second home. Like I knew all the coaches, everywhere to go. It was a normal routine: Tuesday, Thursday training, Sunday matches when it changed to Saturdays when you got a bit older. So no, I probably didn't feel any pressure. I probably got complacent, to be fair, if anything.
So do you think that was one of the reasons for the release at 14 years old? Because it's mad. Like you've been there from 6 all the way to 14. You're now smelling scholarship. Like when you're 14, you can smell it now. You're getting ready. And I guess the competition starts at that age, correct?
No, definitely. And I don't know, because the way they do release, funny enough, is they done it by phone call. So I'm playing PlayStation, and this is when pro clubs first came out. So I don't know what FIFA that is. That'd be FIFA 10. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But so when the FIFAs, so pro clubs first come out. So I'm on the mic, my friends. And in the other rooms, my dad, mum, and my sister. Frank wasn't there. See, he's at this stage he was professional, so he's at digs. He's not at home. My little brother, I think he was downstairs at the time. So they call me into the room, and they're like, sit down. And I'm thinking, well, you know when you sit down in the movie where you see people all in the room sit down, you know it's bad news. It's bad news. So when he told me to sit down, I'm looking at him like, oh, like, my dad never told me to sit down. Every time he told me to sit down, I'm in trouble. So I'm thinking, damn, what do I do now? I've been good at school, I ain't done nothing. So he's like, Chelsea's let you go. And then, you know, in movies where like everything around you just moving, but you're just in a phase. So I'm just sitting there in a phase. I know my dad, mom, and sister, all of my talking saying, I always remember my dad saying, like, it's literally not the end of the world. There's going to be many other doors open. So, like, don't take it to heart. It's happened. You've got to move on. You had wonderful years there, but it's literally not the end of the world. You're only 14, so don't think about it too much. I always remember him saying that, but everything else, I don't have a clue. They could have been saying I'm ugly. I would have just sat there. So, yeah, no, that. And in regards to getting released, and the reason why, I'm not, till this day, I'm not sure why, because in that year, the big games were against Arsenal, Tottenham, and West Ham. So we played about, I don't know, maybe about 30 games every year, like average around 30 games. So, but those were the 3 big games. Because every other game, we were like confident boys. And the previous year before that, under 13, we won the under 13 Premier League tournament. So, and that was all the teams in the Prem. So we believed we were the best team in the country. So we went to every game thinking we're most likely going to win. Even got to a point where our coaches used to tell us you can only do 2 touch in your own half. Okay. When we used to start blowing out teams, we're winning like 5-6-0, like 2 touch, boy, and we're on the pitch just doing 2 touch. And the talent that I played with, unbelievable talent. So, in them big games, Arsenal, Tottenham, and West Ham, I played in all them games. Like started. So I'm thinking, if you're playing them games, because we have such a big squad, we had rotation every match day. But them games there, if you're in the squad, you know you're high priority, especially if you're starting. And in that year, we beat Arsenal 7-0 at Arsenal's academy. So I still have the picture on Facebook. Like we beat them 7-0. There's a picture of me. Every time I look at throwback, I'm like, that's crazy. So we beat them 7-0. We beat Tottenham, beat West Ham. I think that year we lost like 1 game. We were unbelievable. But I played all the big games. I still got released. So
you were playing these games.
Still don't know why.
I remember when I have a brief conversation with you, you're telling me that they switched you to a centre back in these.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. Like, why the switch? Is that just because of your sheer size?
I think so, because, like I said, when I first went there from 6-7 all until under 12s, and I made a switch. So the year before under 12, I literally scored 50 goals, like 15, like 28 games. So I'm scoring hat trick every game, like 2 hat trick. If I don't score, like that's a horrific day. Yeah. So I scored 50, and we come back in summer camp, and then I got a new coach. He's like, I want to put you at centre back. I'm thinking, what do you mean centre back? Like, I've been scoring goals. Like, up to that point, I've been a top scorer every year. I even played up. So me and Ruben were like the first ones from my age to play up the age group. So if you do that, you're thinking,
yeah, of course,
you're doing well, especially at that young age. We're 11 playing with the under 12s. Back then, you're thinking, wow, that's a big thing. So I'm playing up, I'm scoring for the age group up, then come in, tell me you're playing centre back. So it probably took me about, I don't know, maybe like 3-4 months for me to kind of agree with it. I never accepted it up to the point when I got released. I wasn't ever truly happy in regards to playing centre back, because I'm so used to scoring. So I'm at the back. Even got to a point I stopped running out from the back, just chopping people in my own box, because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to taking players on. So, but it took about 3-4 months. So when I was there, when he first told me centre back, I'm going to training not even happy. So I'm thinking, I'm playing centre back. I used to think centre back so boring. Like I'm like, all the action's up there, and I'm back here watching. And because I'm at Chelsea, we're very ball dominant. So more times in the game, I'm not really defending.
Yeah.
I literally just pass it off and let the magicians do their thing, and I'm watching it. And like I said, I played with some top players, so we'll just be running away with teams. I'll defend every hit now and then, win the ball back, just play it. But even though I didn't accept it, is an experience that I do value, as you get another perspective from different positions. I feel like that's good for a footballer when you can know other positions. As if you're ever in that position yourself, you're not lost on the pitch.
Yeah.
If I was to ever end up like centre back for a reason, if I'm tracking back or something, I won't feel out of place, because even though it is years ago, I always feel like more knowledge in regards to our position can only make you a better player. So at
But
the time, I didn't really have to enjoy it, but yeah.
Do you think that they made that switch at the wrong time though? Like maybe if they let you experience it at like 9, 10, 11, and then figured out that you know what your strength lies in you scoring goals, because even today you're a forward.
Yeah.
So clearly, you know, that is what you were good at all throughout your career. Now, it's to me this seems a bit mad because you get released in a period where you're actually playing out of position. Do you think that plays a factor in that decision? Because if you were playing against the Arsenal, the West Ham, and the Spurs, I mean, I know you started all those 3 games, but you started those 3 games as a centre half. But if you play those 3 games, say out on the right wing or as a right wing forward or left wing forward or even up front, and you're bagging a hat trick or 2 goals or 1 goal, whatever it is, but your stats are your numbers are there. Do you think they're more inclined to keep you on?
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, especially at 14. So, because they do sometimes give out scholars early, but 14 is a weird one. If it was maybe under 15 or even 16, I didn't get a scholar. Probably would understand more. But I was still in a transition stage of is like my second full season of playing centre back. It wasn't a thing of, like you said, I've been playing there for years.
Yeah.
So as a youngster, you've got to go from being a front man to going at the back. Cool. That's a whole different spectrum.
That's massively different, yeah.
So I do feel like I was hard done by, especially that year. Like I said, I played in all the big games. If I wasn't playing, then I understand where you're coming from. So I was never really in your view of progressing, but I played in all the big games and you let me go. So it took me a while to kind of like accept it. But now I just see it as, I did look at the positives. Them 8 years I had was unbelievable 8 years. Played with top players who've gone and then are doing well for themselves now. Yeah. So I always enjoy it.
That's the thing people need to understand, that the game is quite cutthroat. And at the end of the day, it's subjective. So people's opinions determine your career at the end of the day. I mean,
100%.
As harsh as that sounds, that's just the reality of it. Like I could be in that position where the next Ronaldo's in front of me and I'm releasing him because of X, Y, Z.
Sure.
You understand? It's the case all the way around. And obviously, in your sense, the one thing I don't like in this whole story is the way you were released. Because I find that you've given them 8 years of service. Now, whatever anyone says, people turn around and listen to you say, oh, they gave you 8 years of experience, 8 years of opportunity, blah, 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 blah. And I can understand that side of the argument. But the point is that you've got to put in the graft, you've got to put the work in. And every year, what people need to understand is in academy football, every year, you're at the risk of getting released every single year. So for you to go get promoted 7 years on the trot, that means you've done something right along those times. You've worked hard, you've done your things right. And then for you to be released over the phone and your parents having to deal with your heartbreak, I think that is absolutely 110% wrong. I believe if you were sat down with a coach, and I think that's how I would like to do it, regardless of your age, if a coach is giving you the feedback as to why, they're not extending, blah, 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 I think it's easier for a kid to accept and they don't fall out of love with the game. They could go on and kick on a little bit. Did you find that was the case, that it hurt more because it was coming from your parents and it didn't actually come from the club?
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially because when they told me, I could feel their pain in their voice. So they were more hurt probably because they had to tell me. So, and it felt out of the blue. Just your parents calling you and saying, yeah, you just let go, just like that. If I had a meeting and you're more prepared for the outcome either way, like you said, if a meeting was tomorrow and I know, okay, there's a chance, but just getting a phone call, because any phone call can be anything. So I do agree with you in that sense, where it doesn't matter how old you are. I feel like a meeting should be said, like, let's just say like parents' evening. When parents' evening, you give an update on how the kid's going. So I feel like that should be the same in terms of making that decision of letting kid go or not. I feel like that's a lot easier, because leave it to the parents. That's a lot of pressure on them to say to their kids. So I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and just a little touch on obviously being released as a 14-year-old. So what that makes you like year 9, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like going to school? Because people need to understand this. Like, your mature age, at 14, your mature age, and these times you're going to school. I'm sure the whole school knows you play for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Now,
At that stage,
how hard was that going back to school and like everyone finding out that you don't play for Chelsea?
Yeah, it was hard because when they all found out I played for Chelsea, that just gives you your reputation just goes up, just high. Because that, like I said, at that stage, Chelsea, the money started coming in, so they're becoming a big team in England. So everyone's like, and in my year, I was the only academy footballer. So it wasn't. I didn't go to a school where there was many, so they're used to academy footballers. I was the only one, so everyone's looking at me thinking, "Oh, like he's so good." And for myself, I was lucky. I had good friends around me. So when I did tell them, they never made me feel down or anything like that. They said, "Oh, okay, like it happens, move on. You're still good. Like another door will come." But personally, inside, I just didn't feel the same. Like I lost a bit of power, a bit of something. Like boom, like I don't know something. I just didn't feel the same. But everyone around me still tried to make me feel the same. But I wasn't. I was quite a loud, cheeky kid, class clown, like jumping around, always jokey. But probably for about a month and a bit, I was just a quiet kid in school because I just because life has changed. I'm used to training Tuesday, Thursday, match on the weekend, Tuesday, Thursday, match on the weekend. But all of a sudden, I have my Tuesdays and Thursdays and no match on the weekend. So I'm just like, this is just weird. So, and at that stage, that's what 8 years from 6 to 14. That's more than half my life I've been at Chelsea. So that's all I'm used to. And then just a sudden change, just like that. So personally, I didn't feel the same. But everyone around me, they tried to uplift me. They didn't want me to be down. Yeah. I'll be in class just quiet. Usually I'll be making a joke, but everyone will try to like, boost me up. But it took me a while. It took me a little while to eventually move on from it.
And then moving on from it, first, how long were you out of the game for? Because obviously I can see that it took a dent on you. Like you may have fallen out of love, or you may have still had love for the game, but you were like, you know what, this is long. This is long for man.
Yeah. I was out for a couple, I'll probably say 3 months. And then I ended up going Fulham for I think I went Fulham for a trial, but I got injured at Fulham. Okay. So during the trial, I'm doing quite well for myself. This is under 15, so early under 15. I'm doing quite well. I'm scoring a couple goals, but then I do my ankle. So that was like 4 weeks in. And then it was so long. So when Fulham, because when you're on trial, because they weren't sure yet on the decision, they were like, when you get back fit, you can come back in, or if not, if you move on somewhere else, like we'll keep an eye on you. But I went Fulham. I was doing well when I done my ankle, so I was out for a couple more months. So then after that, I lost a bit of love for the game. Getting let go from Chelsea, even the Fulham injury, and I'm just like, I don't know, this is kind of long. But then Millwall called me in, so I ended up going Millwall at under 15 as well. And that's where I met Femi Akawande. Shout him out. So I met him. I knew him already because we're from similar areas, so we had mutual friends. But it was never a thing of like speaking to him or being like real close friends. So I met him at Millwall. I felt like I done work at Millwall as well. I played about 10 games. I wasn't there for long at all. I only played about 10 games. Scored like 7 or 8 goals. Played upper age as well. So I felt like I was doing well there as well. And when it was decision for next season, they said no. And they picked another forward who I was kind of competing against, but he's been there since like 7 years old. So there's a thing of, because they've seen him blossom so far, they want to keep seeing him progress. But based on stats and how the year was going, there was no comparison between me and him. Even though I was there on a brief period, I scored more goals than him since he's been in the whole season. And based on performance, I was playing up, he didn't play up. I had to train. I had to go for day release.
Yeah. And
train with the older age when I'm under 15. So I felt like I was doing quite well, but like I said, in football, things don't always go your way. So I got let go there. Then I stopped playing football for another couple of months. my love for the game was, I wouldn't say it was fully lost. I still played at school, but the academy and everything like that, I wasn't really keen on it.
Yeah.
I probably had that fear of getting another rejection because not many people can take. There's only so much rejection you can take. So I've always been quite a positive person, but I was taking a toll on me. Chelsea, Fulham, and Millwall. I'm like, wow, like, going from 8 years to no. So one of my old Chelsea teammates, he was at Cray Wanderers. He called me one day and just said, "Oh, like, are you playing anywhere?" I said, "No." He said, "Just come in Cray Wanderers, just play, just try and enjoy it again." Went Cray Wanderers, and I'll probably say that was up there with the most enjoyable time that I ever had. When you're just playing with no pressure, just playing freedom, like it's literally like you're playing a school game. You're just running around, just playing. So that's how I felt there. I just said, "Let me just play." And some of the things I was doing in games, I was just having fun, chopping 3-4 players. And when I was there, I literally played every position. I played forward, wing, centre mid, right back, left back, centre back. The only position I didn't play was goalkeeper. But when I played centre back there, because we were short on numbers.
Yeah.
So when he asked me, "Can I cover?" I said, "I actually don't mind. I'll just play it." And then I was just having fun back there. But during that period, we did play pro teams. Funny enough, we played Yeovil away, and we travelled, played, and we beat them like 7-3. And then I scored a hat-trick that game. And Yeovil, the manager, said that I was lying about my age. Because he seen that I was too physically big and too physically big and powerful for his boys. In that game, I scored a hat-trick when he told my coach, "No, like he's lying about his age. He's not this age. He can't be 15. He's lying." Then back then, I didn't even know. I just said, "Oh, okay." Like, when you think about it, that's crazy. Gonna accuse a 15-year-old lying about his age.
That's common. I mean, you'll be surprised how common that is because obviously I run an academy now, and bro, I get every age because I've got a boy in my under-7s. He plays with my boy. Now my boy is 5.
Yeah.
And my boy plays under-7 football, so he plays 2 years up, and he's the smallest kid there. Like he's little.
Yeah.
And then he plays with a guy who's 7, but he's like a first quarter baby. And he's huge, like he's giant. Even when I first saw him, and he said to me, "Under-7." Like instantly, I know people say you should never judge somebody on their physicality and stuff, but instantly, as a coach, my mind goes, you're gonna be a handful for everybody.
100%.
You understand?
100%.
Like if I can harness your technical ability, you're gonna be.
Oh, it's scary.
You're gonna be like that, and he is literally like that. And every week we have to do the same thing. Oh, we need to check his passport. Like he's supposed to carry his passport around with him. He's a 6-year-old.
What is that? Like he's a young kid. Like that's crazy though. But I'm not surprised, man. People do that. They're always a bit scared. So played all the academy teams, doing well. Then my friend was at Dagenham at the time, and he just said, come to training." I was like, "Can I really just come in?" He was like, "Yeah, come in, man." I think Dagenham were League 2 at the time. I think. So I go to training. The coach lets me train, and I play a game. So I go into training Thursday. I play a game that Saturday. I scored 2. The youth team manager's there, and he calls me in, and for Tuesday, I was buzzing that I'm missing school. So he calls me on Tuesday. We play against Ipswich away. I score another 2. For the rest of that season, they signed me on, and the rest of that season I'm playing youth team. So I was pretty confident in getting a scholar, but I had to wait literally till the end of the season, like everyone else. When a player came in for West Ham and they gave him a scholar by Christmas, I'm thinking, I was a bit jealous. I was like, wait, I've been playing youth team the whole season. I do understand he came from West Ham, so I do understand West Ham, Prem, gave him a scholar. But when he told me, he got a scholar, I'm like, he's not even playing youth team. I'm playing youth team.
Did that mindset kick in now? Did you go back to that mind where it was like, oh, here we go again, you know?
Yeah, a little bit, Because I was thinking, wait, I'm literally playing youth team. Like I'm not playing under-16s the rest of the season. I'm literally just youth team the whole season, home away. And I'm thinking, he's got a scholar. He's not even playing youth team. And I had a bit of doubt, but because I was still playing youth team, I was like, there's no way I'm not getting a scholar. Like, it doesn't make no sense. I can't play youth team the whole year. And you say no, but I'm not even playing my own age. So a bit of doubt was there, but because I was still playing youth team, I was like, there's no chance I don't get a scholar. So I do end up getting a scholar at Dagenham, and the youth team, the scholar 2 years. I don't know if most footballers will say it, but I believe most, them 2 years, unbelievable, man. Like the best best 2 years because when you just don't, you leave school, you're not going to school anymore. All you do is play football every day. No, and some of the boys in the youth team I still talk to most of them today. So no, those 2 years were wonderful, man.
Nah, that's quality. And then obviously we'll go fast forward because you're at Dagenham Redbridge now. You've signed your scholar. First year's done. Second year's done. When do you get told you're signing pro, and what's that feeling like? Because obviously this journey starts at 6 years old, and along the way you're from 6 you're going like that. 14 you start to go like that, and then Fulham you're going like that. Millwall you're going like that, and all of a sudden you found you're up again.
Yeah.
This must be it. Like, this is what you've been waiting for. So I want to know about that, man.
Yeah, no. So I'll quickly go through the first year. So first year, scholar. Pre-season, I wasn't even the starting book. So I wasn't even looking like I want to start. I was always coming off the bench in pre-season games. So he had forwards ahead of me, but the coach at the time, his name is Warren Hackett, and he was so hard on me. It was crazy. He got to a point where I'm looking at him thinking, like, do you hate me or something? Like, did I do something to you? Did I meet you 5 years ago? Like, did I slap your head or something and run away? Like, he was on me so hard. But
wait, just stop there. How many people's heads did you slap and run away?
Hey, if I speak, I'll be in big trouble. I was a fast kid. If I speak, I'll be in big trouble.
I cannot imagine taking a slap from your head. That's gonna hurt for.
No, I'm joking. No, I'm a good kid, man. What, smack someone's head? No, I could never do that. But he was so hard on me, but I didn't realize until I was probably 21. Maybe it took me some years when he actually looked back, and the reason it was hard on me because he believed in me so much that when I was probably not putting in the 100% or being a bit lethargic, he didn't want me to get complacent at all. And when we always have meetings one-on-one, and he basically told me, he was like, the reason I'm hard on you because I know you got talent in there, so I can't let you waste your talent. And it did take me a while to kind of accept it, because when someone's constantly on you, so if I do a bad pass, is Nouble, why are you doing a bad pass? If someone else does 4 bad passes,
nothing,
doesn't get on, nothing. And I'm just like I do one is the worst thing, but I do I gained a lot of respect from after I left and when I had it during the time. During the time I was like, this guy just is always on me. But after I left, I said, no, I respect what I was trying to portray. Maybe he could have gone a different way, as everyone's different to how the reaction and how you can get the best out of them. But I never took it as even if he was on me, I never got scared or I didn't want the ball. For me, I love pressure in the sense where people say you can't do it or play in front of big crowds. Like my friends always say, when the lights and cameras are on, that's when I turn up. So, but first year, like I said, didn't really start well, but played well, scored a few goals. But second year, before getting a pro, this is where I probably done well enough to get the pro. So I want to learn. I had a couple of learn moves. End up at Grays. I was 18, playing Ryman Prem, and in all competitions I got like 19, 20 goals. So, and now as I'm 24 now, I'm in non-league. So if I see an 18-year-old doing that in Ryman Prem, he done quite well for himself. So I was just scoring nearly every game. Dagenham, I was training first team, so training first team, scoring every game, and it does add up. And the track record of Dagenham was only one player gets a scholar. So these boys
one player gets a pro, yeah? One
player gets a pro. So these players that have had the best year with 2 years with, we'll look at each other saying, only one of us is going to get a pro. And in regards to all the loans, I was the only one who was having a successful loan. Everyone else who went on loan, they weren't really playing, or if they were playing, they weren't really doing as well. So they got called back. So in my head, you start thinking, when you're getting closer to it, you're like, am I going to get a pro? Am I going to get a pro? And in regards to getting a pro, because I made my debut the last game of the season, we had our meetings after that in regards to getting a pro, but I kind of already knew I was going to get a pro because I made my debut. So when he told me I'm training first thing that week, he told me I'm traveling with the boys on Saturday and there's a chance of you getting a debut. I was like, no way. And the boots I was wearing, The boots I was wearing were so worn out. I literally wore that the whole season. And when you're a squad at Dagenham, you're not on loads of money, so I had to balance everything. Like if I want to eat Chinese this week, I gotta eat it once. I can't eat it every week. I got to balance everything. So the boots I didn't feel I was going to make my debut. So when you're on loan, I finished with Graves the week before, so I think my season was done.
Yeah.
But then the scenario, you have to come in the training with first team. You got to make a debut. But the boots I wore underneath, the molds thing are all scraping off. You literally just start just like I'm on ice skates. But I didn't even get new boots. Made my debut against Cheltenham away, and that whole experience was unbelievable, man. Getting onto the coach there, you don't know where to sit. When you're a young boy, you get on the coach, you don't know where to sit, you're scared. But the boys took me in. I was with the captain, who was Abiel Gogo at the time. I was with him, Medialito, Zavon Hines, who else was there? Femi, the left back, he was there. Like all the boys took me in, so made it wonderful. Then the whole game experience. When I got told to warm up at half time, this jogging, this hearing fans, this shouting, who are you? Who are you? Like, but in my head, I'm just buzzing. I'm jogging up and down, sprinting. I'm getting tired of the warm up. Like I'm just buzzing, going up and down. Go sit down. He's like, "Oh, you warmed up yet?" I said, "Yeah." I'm warm. Like, okay, go off again. You're coming on. And the physio, when I came back, he said like he wished for all the best. And up to that point, me and him, we was headbutting. Because like I said, I was a cheeky kid, and we had jobs, so we had to wash balls, bring the equipment. So if a ball's not like spotless, he'll come in and say the ball's not spotless. Like, so we've got to stay after training. So I used to hate him for that. If we go into the physio room with a phone, that's a fine. No flip-flops, that's a fine. If there's two of you that come at the same time, that's a fine. So we used to get silly fines for no reason. So me and him had so many arguments, but probably the best moment of my football career up to that point, and he wished me all the best. So after that, me and him, we became kind of close, getting a lot of respect for him. But so I come on the pitch, and for me, I said my first touch has to be on point.
Yeah.
I can't do all of this, thinking I'm a good player, make my debut. My first touch is awful. So we have a free kick, and I didn't have to go back, so they told me stay up. I have a free kick, we clear it, the ball's in the air, and I'm running onto it, and I just drop it dead, touch. I'm like, yeah, I'm a flipping player. Like, that's quality. I'm quality. When I pass it on, when the funny thing is, like, footballers will know this. The first 10 minutes, I came on like 71st, 74th minutes. I only had like 15 minutes. But those 15 minutes felt like I played a whole half. I was blowing. Like the first 10 minutes, it doesn't matter who you are. When you come on, especially for forward, so I'm making loads of channel runs, but I'm tired. I'm like, can't you, man, just pass the ball a bit? I'm blowing. One time I had the ball, I thought I had so much time. Someone just came and took it off me, barged me off the ball, took it. And I'm chasing back, and I'm thinking, yeah, this pro level is different to playing around Prem. But that whole experience, unbelievable, man. Wonderful.
And that's massive. But you obviously they don't extend your contract there, and I believe while you were injured as well, correct?
Yeah. So when I did get a pro, so going in, I felt like I was doing well in pre-season, but I wasn't. The manager was trying to get promotion, so if you're really going to chuck an 18-year-old kid in, you're most likely not going to do it. You're going to go with experienced boys. So I had a couple of loans. I went well in Concord Prem. I felt like that was a good loan. I was enjoying it. But then I got called back, went to St Albans, started doing well there, and I got called back again. But when I'm getting called back, I thought I'm getting called back to be in the squad, but I'm just getting called back because he's getting calls from other managers that he has a good relationship with and just sending me there without even discussing with myself. So when I was at Welling, it was on a Sunday, he calls me and said, yeah, your loan at Welling's done. Come to training tomorrow. I'm thinking, why is it just done? Like, I was fully enjoying Welling, Concord Prem 18, getting games, starting to play well. So that was bad. St Albans, same thing. They were Comfort South at the time. Calls me back. When I end up going Graves. So this whole year, from maybe 5 months ago, getting a pro, I'm on cloud 9. And the next year, people don't understand. All my friends are probably thinking, you have the best job in the world, being a pro footballer. And when it's going well, don't get me wrong, it's the best job in the world. But when it's going bad, like your whole life, everything around just feels like it's bad as well. When football's going well, funny enough, more time life is going well. When football's not going well, so that whole pro year, I did not enjoy going Dagenham at all. When I was going training, I'm sad going training because in training, I'm not even playing my position. I was just usually there as a body. So when they're doing shape, I'll be on the other team. When there was a training session where I can't remember what team we're playing, but the team that's this direct. So I'm on the other team, the other team against the starters, and I'm playing centre back. So the left back throws in the ball, and all he wants our centre backs to do is just hoof it. But at this stage, my head's kind of gone. So I'm getting called back from loans. I come and I'm playing centre back in training. So I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So when the ball comes to me, I meant to hoof it, but I chop the striker. So when I meant to hoof it, I chop him again. I meant to hoof it, I chop him again. And when the manager stopped the session, he was like, if you're not going to do what I tell you to do, you can go in. And at that stage, I didn't even care because I'm like, you're not even showing me any respect. You're not playing my position. Every low move I'm doing well in, you call me back. And you're sending me lower and lower in leagues. I went from Conference Prem to Conference South, and I ended up going Ryman Prem when I was there last year. I'm thinking, why am I going back here? And I just done well. I'm going back to the same team because he has a good relationship with them. So fast forward to going Grays, then the way I got injured was we're playing a cup game against, I can't remember the team, it was a semi-final. I score to get up to the final, but in the warm-up, my knee felt a bit weird, but because it's semi-final, you always want to, I never really got to a final in like that, so I want to play in the final. I'm like, semi-final, I'm playing. So I just got around my knee strapped up, played the whole game, didn't feel nothing. The next morning, I couldn't even like lift my leg. But if you had a game, you're entitled to a day off the next day. So because I was on level grades, Dagenham said if you have a game, you don't have to come in. But unless you're injured, you have to come in. But because I wanted the day off, I didn't come in. So, but if you don't say you're injured, that's a fine. If you come, you can't just come in the next day and say, I'm injured. They're like, you probably was injured yesterday, you could have told us. So that was on a Wednesday. So Friday I come in, but on Fridays usually just walk through. The team goes through set pieces, where you should be here and there. So my plan was I'll go through training with a walkthrough. When I go to the physio after training and say, oh, my knee feels a bit weird, like it happened in training. And that was my plan. So everything's going to plan, but then the starters go in, but the rest have to do 5v5. But at this stage, I haven't done in the walkthrough, I'm just walking through. I can't run because my knee's hurting. So in the 5v5, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even run around. I've got the 5v5. When the ball's in the air, then I'm a big lad, so I can't not go for the ball in the air or everyone will start shouting. So I go up for a header, but when I land, my knee just felt weird. So I told the manager, my knee feels weird, can I go in? He lets me go in. The physio just assumed it was like I jarred my knee, so it's not that serious. It's a couple of weeks, but nothing bad. But it was like, let's have a scan. So I went and had a scan a couple of days later. When I come back and it's my cartilage. So then I never really knew about cartilage. The only thing I knew about cartilage was Ledley King.
Yeah.
Ledley King didn't have no cartilages. So that's why his career was cut short and he didn't really train. All he done was stay in the pool and play games. So that's all I really knew about cartilage was that Ledley King, no cartilages, so he couldn't replace it. I was scared. I was thinking cartilage. And when I saw a knee specialist, he said everywhere around my knee is pretty strong. So let's see how I react in 4 weeks' time, and we come back. Before we go back and see him, I'm running around training. I'm thinking, I feel good. I go see him. He says, you're going to have surgery. And this is just the same thing that happened when I got let go from Chelsea. Happened there, where when he told me I had to go watch the Dagenham Thursday game, it was the last game of the season. I had to go watch the game. I'm in the stand, and I promise you not, I can't remember nothing happened the whole game. I'm literally sat there just thinking, wait, I'm going to have surgery. I'm going to be out for months. Like, I'm just trying to reflect on everything that's going to happen next. So that was another low. And like you said earlier, I got let go when I was injured. So that whole year I didn't enjoy it. When I get injured, when I get let go. So that year was probably footballing year-wise, probably the worst year of my footballing career.
But then it's a testament to you because you got through the injury. Obviously, a couple of years you got through the injury, and now I feel like you're thriving again. I feel like you're back in your Conference South. You're doing your thing at Concord, and that's where I first come across you. You were my nightmare. My first official game in the dugout. Like my first official game in the dugout, we got Concord away, Boxing Day, I think it was.
Boxing Day.
Got slapped 4-1. Noob scored what I call a worldie, like just.
That's one of my favourite goals, you know.
Such a calm finish, like I remember it. I was like, who is this big kid just tossing everyone around, and what is going on here? Where am I? Like, obviously, I'm coming from kids football, and I come into the men's game, and I'm looking at this. And I'm thinking, oh, what? I'm like, this is gonna be long, but you know what? It's a different ball game, but I've enjoyed it so much, like as a coach, because the level is just because people need to understand you are coaching players of your ability, your caliber. He's a Conference South player, but really and truly, you're not a Conference South player. You're a player who's playing in the Conference South more than being a Conference. That's all it is. And but what is the dream for you now? Like, obviously this year must be like gutting for you that it ended, because you lot were having a run of your life in the FA Trophy, weren't you?
I know that when we did. I knew about the FA Trophy, but up to this year, I never had a good run in it. So it wasn't until I think we beat Bath where I scored last minute, innit? Yeah, last minute winner. So when I scored that, I was like, wait, we're only a couple runs away and we could be in Wembley. I said, nah, because there's so many top footballers that hasn't played at Wembley. They're telling me I can get a chance to play at Wembley. So that's really the worst thing about the year being cut short. But
to be fair, you had a quite favourable draw as well. Like,
you never know in cups, but
of course,
going into that game, there's no way I'm gonna let Hallows then stop me from going Wembley. I would die on that pitch. There's no way to stop me. When we got that draw, I said, like I said earlier, I was injured at the time, so the plan was I was just gonna rest until we played the two semi-finals, and I would have been probably at 70-75%, but I'd done that against Royston. When we played against Royston the round before, I was out for about 3 weeks before, no training, and I didn't do no running. I just got thrown straight into the game. Guys, I have to play. This is Wembley chance. I just strapped up my ankle, painkillers, played extra time. I think even took I don't know if I took a pen. I can't remember. No, we won in extra time 2-1.
Yeah,
I played extra time. And at that game, I was probably about 40-45%. I wasn't even close to anything, so I'll do the same against Hallows then.
I was rooting for you because obviously you represent the league at the end of the day as well. And, you know, guys like yourself or whatnot. So I was like, I hope they. And you, because I share a car with Femi all the time. Like we're always going back and forth on journeys and whatnot. And it's like we always just saying, Femi's always like, nah, I want Noobs to go Wembley. We're gonna go Wembley, and we're planning on coming as well. So it's a bit gutting, that is. But what's your plans now? Because obviously season's done. What's next? What's next for J Noobs?
Well, the aim is to hopefully I can get another chance back into full time, back in the pro. So that's the aim. But you always got to be realistic with yourself. That's the ultimate aim. But if I don't reach it, I'm not going to see myself as like I failed or anything like that. As the years go on, you do realize there's so much in football that people just don't see behind closed doors. It's down to opinions, timing, sometimes who you know. So my aim, I feel like the last 2 years I've had can only keep progressing. I feel like I've done well Ram and Prem, and now Concord South this year. I feel like I've established my name in a sense where people know I can play well at this level. So I always want to challenge myself. So I do want to go as high as possible, but I have to wait and see what happens. This whole coronavirus has just affected everything. So about next season, you don't even know when that's going to be. That might be 2021. So we'll wait and see. But the aim is to see how high I can play and hopefully get back into the league.
Nah, it's good. It's good that the dream and ambition's still there. And it's. I have to ask you, like, because obviously I have youngsters who'll be watching this. Parents obviously who have youngsters in academy football, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give, or what advice have you got in the past that you could pass on now to the next generation, kind of thing, even though you're still young? And
I'll say if you have a true passion for it, you've got to put your all into it. You can't say I want to. If they say I want to become a pro footballer, you can't say that, and the work you're putting in is not even close to achieving your dream. So I probably learned that from personal experience myself, where you can't say one thing and do nowhere near the same. That old phrase that you hear a million times: hard work doesn't beat talent if talent doesn't have hard work, something like that. So you have to have both. I would say if you truly want to be a pro footballer, you do know you have to make sacrifices in terms of your lifestyle won't be the same as your friends. I've been in the academy since I was 6, and my lifestyle has never been the same as my friends, just going out, running around. I was indoors because I knew I got training. My parents were very strict on me in terms of going out. I still feel like I had a good childhood. I was loud out, but it wasn't as often as my friends going parties. I couldn't go parties. I probably have a match the next day. So
Yeah.
I'll say if you really want to do it, you got to put in the work. In terms of rejection, I take every L as a lesson instead of a loss. So if you do go through rejection, like my dad said to me, it's literally not the end of the world. There's many footballers that I know personally that have been rejected, and then now their journeys made them play even higher than the team they got rejected from. So there's always so many journeys to go through, and probably the most important for myself is enjoy playing football. If you don't enjoy it, then it's not for you. There's no point of just forcing it. Enjoyment. I feel like when people play with enjoyment, that's where they play their best, and that's how I feel now when I'm playing. I just enjoy it. Confidence is sky high. Just playing with a smile on your face. So make sure you enjoy it first and foremost. Don't ever put so much pressure on yourself where you're scared to do what you love. You can't be scared to do what you love. You must love what you love doing the most. So make sure you don't put as much pressure on yourself and just enjoy it. But if you do truly want to become a pro footballer, make sure you put in the work, because that takes a toll, and people will notice the difference between someone that does the work and someone that doesn't. So that's probably
that's
some advice I would give.
That is very, very good advice, to be fair. I don't think many people could put it any better there.
Yeah.
And just the last note, obviously, on a more fun, it can be serious as well. It depends on how you look at it, really.
Yeah.
But it's you obviously, for those guys that the youngsters are gonna be buzzing off this one, but because they might be looking at you and think, I know him, but I don't know where I know him from. Like them ones.
Yeah.
They might be like, oh yeah, because he's Frank's brother. It could be that, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yes, he's the guy. Young Philly versus Chunkz, Affiliate versus Beta Squad. This is the guy that got a hat-trick in that game, and I know you guys have seen it.
Hey, everyone that watches the video, if you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube.
You know what I do? I'll put the link there.
Yeah, put the link.
I'll put the link there.
The thing is, I think there's like 3 different videos, but I think there's one that's maybe 25 minutes long. Yeah, but we'll put the link. Young Philly against Chunkz team.
But then what I need you to do is I need you to get one of them to retweet or post.
Oh, don't worry. I'll call Young Philly. I got both their numbers. I'll call them up. Boys, just retweet. One retweet. Don't matter who is heads or tails, one of you. I'll get 100%. I promise you. I'll get them to retweet it. And play that game. Sick experience, man. They're doing well for themselves, man. They done a full match, and they got so many kids like all to come out and watch them. So when you can fill out a non-league ground like that. So no, shout out Young Philly and Chunkz. Got a hat trick. But
so does that mean we're gonna be seeing you on the YouTube scene a little bit more?
Hey, never know, man. I was even talking to Femi about this the other day. If we could make our own like YouTube team,
come on, I'm gaff. I put my hands up.
Hey, you can take that. Well, you be working with some top players. If you could actually make a YouTube team, I'm actually so confident we'll do well. But
I tell you what,
I know the commitment won't be there though.
Bro, never say never. Let's not give anything up just yet. Let's talk, because you're talking to a guy who, if you give him a project, it's on top.
I'm saying, there's so many top players I know, but the commitment every week, I don't know if they'll have it. That's the thing. Especially when the lockdown finishes, when they can go out, they'll be going out every Saturday. But Sunday, do
you know how many people miss football? Like
I know. So, but
I was having this conversation. I mean, this is completely off subject. I don't know. You might have more input on it. So let me ask you. So they're saying that they're gonna make the lockdown like the groups of 10 is allowed, or something like that. I've heard some rumors about it. So does that mean we can play 5-a-side, or what going like?
That's a good question, because they're saying you have groups of 10. So that's a very good question. If we can, then we can play 5-a-side. So I don't know. But this whole lockdown thing.
Hey, yo, people, we ain't the government. We're
not. Don't come for me. Don't do that. But
final question. I know the answer already, but I'm hoping that since I last spoke to you, things have changed a little bit.
Oh my God. Yep.
Ronaldo or
Or the greatest. You know? Team Messi.
Why
Team
am I
Messi
even?
all day.
The problem is, why am I even asking when I
Team-
already know the
Don't-
answer?
Team Messi all day. I'll argue till I die. Team Messi, the greatest footballer I've ever seen.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you because you're forward, you're big, you're athletic. Everything about you should be
I know.
leaning to this big
Look,
man here.
When it comes to Ronaldo and Messi, when it comes to that debate, I don't really like debating it because they're both unreal. Like,
Yeah,
they're in their own world. They're over there, and everyone else is over here. Like, so they're in their own world. So I never had any sort of respect on Ronaldo. I feel like you can't disrespect him. Like, what he's done will never
it's
be
the same.
repeated.
It's the same with me and Messi. Like people always think I hate Messi. How can you hate Messi?
Yeah.
I hate Messi.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
No, you
phenomenal
can't.
what he does. I think it's just a preference thing, innit? Some guys like that drop of the shoulder, and some guys like the arrogance. And I don't know.
See, the arrogance that Ronaldo has, I love it. When someone's arrogant and they back it, I love it. That's why one of my favorites is players is Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Quality.
I love his whole persona, and he's the first player book that I finished like from start to finish. I wasn't always a big reader, so I bought his book. I finished it from start to finish. So after that, like when you learn more about someone, you gain more respect. So after that, I fell in love with him. So when people got that arrogance and persona and you can back up, I love it. So in regards to Ronaldo and Messi, is your argument that Ronaldo's done it everywhere, so he's better? Is that your argument?
No.
Okay.
I think
that's
it's a
not
bias.
the general argument.
I think my argument is biased. As you can see behind me, like this is him at United. I'm a United fan. First and foremost, I'm a United fan. So my like person I looked up to growing up, or my football guy was Ronaldo, R9. But on the United scene, it was David Beckham. It's also always been Becks. I've always just had this thing about. I know he wasn't. People say he wasn't a great footballer. I think he was personally. I think he was.
I think he was an unbelievable player. But
I think he was brilliant.
Everything off the field, people forget.
Yeah.
He was actually a quality player, man.
And then obviously it was Ronaldo who came in to replace him.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, let's give this kid a chance. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like followed him all the way.
Yeah,
and obviously, it's like for me, I saw his journey in it. Like, from United all the way to now Juventus with the national team, and where he was that little thing with the cheese in his head and whatnot. And he's gone to this big guy, scoring the Champions League final. You know, doing bits, winning 5 Champions League.
The way he's changed is unbelievable.
You know,
the progression is unbelievable. Man.
I can't. That's why I always lean more towards him. And I guess when Messi was coming up, I had already had this affiliation with Ronaldo, so it was like I didn't recognize Messi too much. And I know that you can't disregard him. I get that. But I think I've just got the affiliation with Ronaldo.
Because I'm a United fan as well, so I was Team Ronaldo. But when we played them in the Champions League final, 2009, Iniesta was for me best player. Messi showed glimpses, but when we played them in 2011, I said, "Who is this Messi guy?" And after that, I've just been tracking him, and the thing he does on the pitch.
They ran us ragged. They ran us ragged
They ran us ragged, and that loss after that loss. Usually when United lose, like especially when I was younger, that used to hurt me. But after that loss, I said I can't even be mad. Like we might have played arguably the greatest team ever. So I can't even be mad, and we at least was level at half time. But other than that Messi, man, after that he won me over, man.
I think Ronaldo took that loss and when because that was his last game for us, and then he went, and then he just escalated after that. He just went on a
whole different level.
Different level. But listen, Joel, it's been absolute pleasure talking. I could talk to you all day because
my pleasure.
You've got the vibes. My pleasure. Before you go, obviously, I'm gonna get killed if I don't say this, but next season, Joel one side, Femi the other side.
Hey, Femi, hey. If United sign us both. If United sign us both.
Look at this guy.
If United sign us both, we can do that. I'll be buzzing.
See, for me as a coach, it's my dream to coach the best players that are available to
for sure.
And if that happens to be yourself, Femi, I ain't never gonna say no. Do you get me?
Appreciate that.
I'm never gonna say no. So we'll see what happens. One can dream big. You get me?
No, for sure.
But now, guys, you guys know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. This is gonna get retweeted by either Chunkz or Young Philly. I'm holding Joel on this.
100%. Remember, I said, hold me to it.
I'm
It's gonna get
holding it to
retweeted.
it. I'll put his socials
Hold
down
it,
there.
hold it, hold it.
Joel's Insta's down there. Make sure you give him a follow. Make sure you give his brother a follow, Femi a follow, because these are all guys that we need to support.
Yeah, man.
They're going on a big journey. They're doing big things. So let's support them. And yeah, Joel, thank you very much for coming on. Absolute pleasure.
My pleasure, man.
I know what? In a
My
couple of
pleasure.
weeks' time, I'm gonna get you on and Femi on, and we're just gonna talk football. And then we'll do a little
Calm.
freeway.
Yep.
It'll be quite fun, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Until then, guys, I'll see you in a few days. It's time for another episode. Till then, peace.